Anywho, my name is Sir Charles the Reese II, and I'm here to introduce you to talk about something serious that is going on in Rhode Island. And I don't mean the massive unemployment and a screw-up of a governor who prefers to cut education and make us all those poor children pay for extra stuff like crappy books and shit like that. Anyway, I'm here to actually talk about vampires. As you all might have guessed, especially from my past video, from all four of you who've seen it, that I have a real interest in vampires. And as you know, Mercy Brown and Sarah Tillinghast were not the only vampires in Rhode Island. Most of you might not know that. Hey, crackhead, over here. I'm right over here. Screw the fish. The vampires' lore came over from Eastern Europe. A lot of immigrants around that time, in the 1800s, came over here. So, and they brought their little crazy little folklore thing. And that's also around that time, you may be aware of, that I'll eat your brains out. Around that time, there was a big problem with tuberculosis, or TB. They call it consumption back then. So anyway, when people are just stupid and don't know anything, they create stuff up, like the Bible and everything, all that fantasy shit. So the whole thing with the cutting off the heart and the burning of it and making it into a potion all came from Eastern Europe. And one of the most famous vampire was technically Dracula, which was actually Bram Stoker got it from the Mercy Brown case. So sorry, all you Transylvanian people, we're actually famous when you just stole our light. Well, anyway, for this upcoming video, I got 3 new cases to talk about. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Those trace. And I just want to say, I hope you enjoy this video. And I just want to say, what the fuck is this other thing right over here, okay, man? I mean, who the hell ever could put a freaking merman in there? It's so gay. Hope no one actually named the goddamn thing. We should just cut it.
Life dig into the skin, knuckle crack the bone, 21 to win.
Alright everybody, we're at another location. This place is the grave site of Nellie Vaughn. One thing I want to show you is this church over here. It's actually quite old. Plainfield Meeting House. Now it's called Plainfield Meeting House, but I think it was also called Plainfield Meeting Baptist Church or something like that. I can I can care less. It's churches, what do I care? So here we are. Okay, Nellie Vaughn is actually quite infamous. Okay, and by the way, as you can all tell, we still got snow from that damn snowstorm. And it's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay, now I know we're doing Rhode Island vampires, alright? But truth be told, Nellie isn't a vampire. I know, what a shocker. Okay, here's how the story goes. Back in the 60s, okay, some teacher around here was telling kids about a vampire off of Route 102. So they went to go search for this vampire, and just like most kids in Rhode Island, they didn't know the direction, weren't paying attention, and they were just being all stupid, and they went to the wrong place. They went here. And they found a tombstone on it that got them kind of like suspicious. On the tombstone it said, I am waiting and watching you. And they're like, oh my god, we found the vampire. And they're all like excited and stupid stuff like that. And so they went here, and so that's where Nellie Vaughn got considered being a vampire, but she wasn't. One thing was that almost all vampire cases in Rhode Island and New England in general, they all died from TB. Nellie Vaughn in 1889 did not have TB. She actually died of ammonia. Now, where's Nellie Vaughn buried? Somewhere around here. Say hi, Nellie. I'm hoping to get a response back, actually. Well, more on that in a second, okay? So, you're probably wondering, oh, heavens, where is the tombstone? And now I'll have to tell you why I don't like crackheads. Nellie, when people started thinking, okay, Nellie was a vampire, every crackhead from around came down here. It's not always bad. I mean, most people are generally harmless and stuff like that. But most people weren't. They trashed the place. I mean, they ripped this place to pieces. They knocked over tombstones. They, in 1993, around Halloween time, a coffin was dug up. Talk about good times, I know. And the place was just totally trash. Eventually, the people of West Greenwich, people around here, excuse me, took the tombstone for safekeeping. I should mention on the tombstone where it says, "I am waiting and watching you," it does say that, but it ain't meant to be anything ominous, by the way, okay? It was just a shorter version of "I am waiting and watching you from heaven." Of course, on my tombstone, I'd rather have it say, "I am waiting and watching you from hell." But, so that's how that all started. Now, what is this place also famous for, besides a supposed vampire Nellie? Well, this place is haunted as hell. This is my 4th visit here, and I will tell you, I believe this place to be haunted. There's been a lot of reports about a woman in white. I have seen her once on my 3rd visit. But one very well-known ghost sighting was back in 92 or 93, I'll double check, by a woman named Marlena from Coventry. She went out here, over there, exactly, and she was doing a gravestone rubbing of Nellie's tombstone when it was still allowed to be here before they had to take it away because of freaking crackheads. There was something wrong with the grave rubbing. It just wasn't coming out right. It was like every time she rubbed it out, it was like coming out backwards or something like that. I don't know, something like that. And then her husband, at the time, heard someone say, "I am perfectly pleasant." From what I understand, that was from like some of the relatives, ancestors, was that was Nellie's favorite saying. The guy eventually got scratches on his face. Ooh, scary. But then she went back there, back in, I think, a couple months later, and she went to go check out the place and saw a woman. And the woman, she started talking to the woman, and then she mentioned about Nellie, and called Nellie a vampire, and the woman got pissed off. Got a little agitated and stuff like that. And then the woman disappeared. So, according to many of the ghost sightings in this area, there's a woman here who will be kind of agitated that you called Nellie a vampire. "Yeah, Nellie, I'm calling you a vampire. What you gonna do about it?" Hey, I'm trying to see if this is actually gonna work. And there was also one sighting about they saw a woman standing over Nellie's grave, like floating, like yanking at her hair. So the general premises is Nellie is not a vampire, but her ghosts will come back, especially somewhere over there. The town around here, like the people here, try to educate people, but they did a lousy job doing it. For one thing, they're all, this place is forbidden to come at nighttime because they don't want to vandalize, more vandalism of the place. But they don't even take care of the place themselves. So, people nowadays. All right. So that is the short version of the Nellie story. Nellie wasn't a vampire, but she's a ghost now because she doesn't like being called a vampire anymore. Now, for my little ghost things, besides seeing a woman in white, it's snowing, so even if a woman in white did appear, I saw her somewhere, let me zoom in, here, very briefly, yeah, and one time, my first visit, I heard footsteps when I was standing over there one time taking a picture. This was when it was in the summertime. It wasn't my friend Steve, not him, because he wasn't anywhere near me. And I do have some other pictures, which I'll probably post with you so you guys see it, of some, orbs. There was an image of a woman. I've heard laughter. So has my sister on my second visit. We heard laughter. I also had another friend who came out here and he said he also saw a woman in white. His name's Jim. Yo, word out, Jim. Woo! So this is Nellie Vaughn's area. I hope I educated you a little bit. Nellie's not a vampire, really, but she is a pissed off ghost because people keep calling her a vampire. Right? So, over and out.